All right. As we continue down, we have this third paragraph. After COVID-19 began, I find myself standing on one end of the hallway. So the student here's telling a little anecdote. I prefer anecdotes if you're going to use them. I recommend them. You don't have to. If you're going to use anecdotes, I prefer very specific interactions, not this general thing where you're like, hey, I did this exercise, socially distanced exercise, because to me, there's not a lot of impact to this. Yeah, great. You basically were a physical therapist, personal trainer during COVID, during lockdowns, helping people. But what was the takeaway from that? Your takeaway was I began to realize that vulnerable populations, such as older adults, often needed people to advocate for their well being. Well, number one, why are you needing to advocate for them? You don't really show that, right? It's not like you had a story where these patients were being ignored and then you advocated for them. These patients were vulnerable. They're in lockdown. So I don't really see the advocation, the advocacy, wrong word, the advocacy of what's going on, other than it just feels like this word advocate is thrown in there. Same thing if we go down a couple sentences where we say, hey, medical care more accessible. I want to find a way to make more medical care more accessible. That accessible word is another buzzword that just seems a little thrown in there. It doesn't fit with everything else that you're saying.